Well, as you can see, we're back in the Taylor Conservation Area, Victor Echo 1638. We're going to try a portable operation this time, true portable, not from the mobile. So as I mentioned in a previous video, we were trying to get the base set up and get the kinks worked out, and that's really what today was all about, was trying things and seeing what worked, what didn't work, what we need to adjust for later, and so on. Actual setup time was about 30 minutes from start to finish, so that's pretty decent for a first effort. And yeah, we'll go from there. Now if you follow those orange cones on the way out, you can see off in the distance basically the 66-foot mark where the mast is. That's the MFJ mast, which goes up and up into the trees, actually just this side of the trees. And so we'll go from there. We're going to give it a try. We know what we need to adjust for next time. CQ Pota, CQ Pota, CQ Pota. CQ Parks on the air. Victor Echo 3, Sierra Victor Quebec calling CQ Parks on the air from Park Victor Echo 1638, standing by. CQ, CQ, CQ. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. Victor Echo 3, Sierra Victor Quebec calling CQ Parks on the air from Park Victor Echo 1638, standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. Victor Echo 3, Sierra Victor Quebec calling CQ Parks on the air from Victor Echo 1638, standing by. I picked up, I think, in all that noise, a 2 Romeo. I've got Kilo and I've got Romeo Bravo. What's the middle? Kilo 4, Romeo Bravo. All right, let's see if I got it this time. Kilos. Oh, excuse me. KZ4 RB. Kilo Zulu 4 Romeo Bravo. Roger, Roger. You're about a 4-4 into Park Victor Echo 1638. Roger, Roger, Victor Echo 3, Sierra Victor Quebec, Sugar Victor Queen. '73, thanks for hunting. So there we go, we're going to wrap it up today. The experiment definitely worked. Conditions on the band were not that good, but still got 25 contacts in 44 minutes, and they ranged from all the way in Minnesota, quite a few in Alabama, a number down North and South Carolina, Florida as well. Even got one from Texas and another from California, which is tough to get under the best of times for me with the antennas and that I use. So there you go, a successful activation, and we know that the system works. All we got to do now is perfect it a little bit and then get out here again. And thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Victor Echo 3, Sierra Victor Quebec, the Shaky Key, wishing you a great day. I always like to do a lesson learned section because I find other people who are doing it for the first time hopefully will avoid some of the same mistakes that I made, and maybe even pick up a few good ideas along the way. So lesson learned, number 1, keep your checklist handy and go through it. in this particular activation, it was backed up all day long until finally, time came when I could sneak it in, and car was loaded real fast and off I went. And I got there and I realized I'd left behind the base for the antenna. So back home again, pick it up, back out to the park, which fortunately is only about 20 minutes from my house. So, but still, that's 40 minutes of time that's lost. So always keep your checklist and double check it, double check it, double check it. The second lesson learned, again, is a continuation of one that I've mentioned before. Spot yourself. If you're doing the parks on the air, you can go right to their site and spot yourself. There were 2 or 3 other people who were very kind and actually posted me to other spotting sites as well, QRZ and things like that. So that always helps people find you, and I think that was probably one of the reasons I had so many contacts in such a short time. Lesson 3, I still have to do some work on the straps. I'm not overly happy with the straps at this point. They're heavy, they may be a bit too long, so I've got to do some work on them, but they certainly functioned and did their job. I mentioned in the video, lesson 4, which is these orange cones. Now you have to remember that antenna is up, I guess roughly, I'm going to say 30 feet up, maybe a little bit less at one end, but it slopes down towards the picnic table and the radio. So at certain points along that route, the antenna is getting to the height where an adult, or in some cases even a young kid, could probably walk into it. So I had put some orange cones up, and they worked really well. I noticed anybody, because it's also a big fishing park, anyone going fishing there, they made a point to detour around things, and with the bright orange straps on the antenna, they knew how far to go out. But I think it pick up an extra 3 or 4 cones. They're only dollar store cones, they're nothing fancy. And I think they make a big difference, and I could even put them around the 4 tent pegs or whatever I'm using around the antenna base as well. So excellent for very little money. Lesson number 5, at the very last minute I threw a rubber mallet in, and in a way it was a good thing I did, because when you're putting those tent pegs in or whatever it is you're using, you never know how hard the ground will be, and that mallet turned out to be really well, especially if you're going to be using maybe some of the plastic tent pegs. In my case I was using metal ones, but the plastic ones, you don't go on smacking them with a big heavy hammer. Lesson number 6, I had put in a number of bungee cords, and they actually came out very handy, because at the top of the antenna, now with this one, with the MFJ antenna, the top is extremely thin, and very few people that I know have managed to just hook an antenna to the end of that without it snapping off, and myself included. So usually you put it down several feet, and I happen to have a small clamp which I could put down, I think maybe 3 sections down, and put a bungee cord on it and a bungee cord on the end of the antenna, and it worked perfectly. So that's something to think about down the road. Lesson number 7, and this has been learned over what is now 4 activations, that in my area, which is Eastern Ontario and Eastern time zone, after 4 o'clock is definitely much better as far as picking up contacts go. And even at home, I very often get on around 3 and go to 5, and it's after 4 where I get most of my contacts. So timing is important as well. Lesson number 8, bring along a knife or a pair of scissors, and this time I happen to have one. And you never know when you get some of these little plastic attachments from, when you buy things in a store. There's all sorts of reasons that you might need one. Lesson number 9, contrary to what a lot of people think, and even myself to a certain extent before I did it, this is definitely something that you can do by yourself. You don't need anyone to assist you. You don't need anyone to hold anything. You can do the entire setup on your own. And like I said, in my case, it took about 30 minutes altogether, and that was figuring out how to do things, where it went. Next time it will go faster, but it was interesting that it was really easy to set up. And the other one I have, lesson number 10, I'm trying to think of ways I can put a small pole sort of next to the picnic table, which will get the coax and the wire away from the ground right at the beginning. In other words, it might be a sloper, but try and get it maybe 6 feet up, or even more if I can get it up above that, so that people walking by, if someone does actually walk by, close to the picnic table, they're not going to run into the wire. So that's the lessons learned. And the last one, I guess, is it is so much fun doing it. And it's something that I've wanted to do since the 1990s. Basically be sort of field day ready or emergency ready. So it's the first time I've been able to do it in all those years. And it is so much fun. So if you haven't done it and you're thinking about it, definitely this is something that you should look at. Definitely something that you should try. So there you go, lessons learned from Victor Echo 3 Sierra Victor Quebec, the Shaky Key. Thanks very much for watching.